sacrificial fire in the name of demigods without the knowledge of the demigods. He also offered obligations to the demons because they were his relatives through his mother. Because of purport, because of Vishnupa's affection for the families of both the demigods and the demons, he appeared the Supreme Lord on behalf of both dynasties. When he offered obligations in the fire on behalf of Asura, he did not, he did so secretly without the knowledge of demigods. As we were discussing yesterday, Prabhuji was telling, Vishnurupa had that double attachment, one for the demigods from the father side and the other from the mother side. So Asuras were from mother side. So why he offer obligations to the fire in the favor of demigods? He secretly, without the knowledge of others, offered obligations to the fire on behalf of Asuras. So he did so sincerely, secretly, without knowledge of demigods. Now, naturally, he had the affection for both of them and wanted to please. But what was his status? In that way, is this type of behavior is speaking a lot about his overall conduct. So that's my understanding of it. So you can add to it further.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So, yes. So, of course, he had attachments to both the families. In the material world, actually, there are always attachments. As soon as the child is born, he's already attached. First attachment starts with one's own body and then it progresses onwards to mother, father, brother, sister, society, and so forth. All these attachments are eventually cause of death because one becomes attached to one's identity in this material world, and that identity drags him through different planetary systems. So nothing is exalted here. Dvaite Bhadra Bhadra Jnana Saba Manodharma. There is no Bhadra Abhadra. Everything here is nonsense. Attachment to demigods is not good. Attachment to demons is certainly not good. So everything, all of this is just like an illusion. So certainly in case of Vishwarup, his attachment became the cause of his death. Literally, because Indra killed him. Yeah. So should we continue? So text 4 now, right? Or
Yeah.
yeah, 4 we do. Yeah. Taddeva helanam tasya.
Taddeva
Helanam tasya.
Dharmalikam Sureshwara.
Dharmalikam Sureshwara.
Alakshya tarasa bhitas. Tat shirshanya achinnad rusha. Once upon a time, however, the king of heaven, Indra, understood that Vishwarup was secretly cheating the demigods by offering oblations on behalf of the demons. He became extremely afraid of being defeated by the demons, and in great anger at Vishwarup, he cut Vishwarup's 3 heads from his shoulders. So you see, now this is the complexity of material life, which is afflicting even the highest of living entities. I mean, what to speak of us? We are certainly very low class creatures. But we can see Indra, he's the king of demigods, and Vishwarup, who's such an exalted Brahmana, even they are not free from these attachments. So, understanding that Vishwarup is secretly giving benedictions to his enemies, Indra could not check the force of anger. So, we can see certainly that even at that position, where one can physically see Krishna, I mean, Indra is the brother of Upendra. He's a son of Aditi, and he's the brother of Upendra, and Upendra comes to meet him. Upendra spends time with him, and yet King Indra could not control the force of his anger, and he killed a Brahmana, which is one of the Mahapap, it's one of the worst kind of sins. And what to speak of ordinary Brahmin? He has killed a Brahmin who was giving him benedictions. See, this is the principle of humility that, when we receive something, it is a mercy, prasada. So then we cannot be demanding with that. That is a sign of false ego. Sometimes devotees also get very angry. Oh, Maharaj did not say this to me. Prabhuji did not do this for me. Well, that's whatever we get is just benediction. We just accept it. We are in the position of a beggar. So we cannot demand in bhakti. So here also, Indra was being protected by Vishwarup. But because he felt that Vishwarup was not being partial to him, or rather he was being partial to the demons also, he killed him. So this is the nature of material attachments. That when the force of anger strikes, the living entity completely forgets his own position. You know, what's that verse? Dhyayato Vishyanapumsha Sangasteshu Pajayate. Sangat Sanjayate Kama, Kamat Krodho Vijayate. So krodhat bhavati sammoha. So it leads to illusion. In that illusion, buddhi nashat pranashyati. One becomes completely destroyed. The force of anger completely destroys a person. So here we see Indra will also suffer horrific reactions now. So text 5. Soma pitham tu yat tasya.
Who is Hare Krishna? Who is this? It is right with three heads. How these 3 heads signifies? Vishnu had 3 heads.
Bhagavatam doesn't give any such elaborate explanations. It might be in some Puran, but he just had 3 heads. That's it.
Okay.
There's no devotional significance to this number.
Okay. But normally people don't have 3 heads or more than 1 head.
Because this is heavenly planets.
Okay.
These are heavenly planets, not Earth. This is heavenly planets.
Not different from our behavior.
Yeah, I mean consciousness. Consciousness is the same.
Exactly.
So yes, certainly they are more refined, but we can see that the influence of mode of passion is even present even in those realms.
Sure, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, I have a question. So looking at this, this can apply like today's some of the dhongi per se guru, they are cheating people. So then what should be the people's way of getting out of it? Just reject that dhongi guru? Because Bhagavad Gita does say, guru should not be spoken badly to. If the guru becomes raged with you, you should not be speaking bad to guru backward. So then in that case, what people are supposed to do? Because here Indra cut his guru's head, kind of, right? So that's Guru Ravagya here. So in this scenario, what should people do? Just reject the guru?
Just reject the guru and go on. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur left the association of Bipin Bihari Goswami, and he never spoke of him. Not that he was cursing him or he was fighting with him or anything. So there were 2 disagreements that Bipin Bihari Goswami and Bhaktivinoda Thakur had. One was about this chanting of Hare Nitai Gaur Radhe Shyam Hare Krishna Hare Ram. This was one disagreement. And another one was about the position of Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. So Bipin Bihari Goswami held the position that Raghunath Das Goswami is not an acharya because he comes from a Kayastha family. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur argued that this position is transcendental because Raghunath Das Goswami is an associate of Lord Chaitanya and he's a complete renunciate. So these were disagreements, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur left the association of Bipin Bihari Goswami, who came from Nityanand Parivar. He left, but he neither complained about him nor he criticized him or anything, but he just, like kind of, in English we say he ghosted him. So just left. There was no cause of fighting or anything.
Yes.
He remained respectful. He remained very respectful, but always at a distance.
Makes sense. Take care, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. That's helpful.
Hare
Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, since you brought this up, Prabhuji, on what basis did Bhaktivinoda Thakur reject his guru's whatever his guru's stand was? He read some other scriptures, or he was taking shiksha from somebody else who told him this, or what?
It was Siddhanta. Bhaktivinoda Thakur was a very intelligent man. He had read many scriptures, especially Chaitanya Charitamrita. So you can't have rasa bhas, Bhaja Hare Krishna Hare Ram, Nitai Gaur Radhe Shyam Hare Krishna Hare Ram. This is a concoction because this is not a Vedic mantra. So even though it sounds very musical, but it has no spiritual potency. So that's like very obvious, even we can understand this. And regarding the position of Raghunath Das Goswami, now this was also Tattva Siddhant. Mahaprabhu says, Kiba Vipra Kiba Nyasi Shudra Kene Nai, Jai Krishna Tattva Veta Shai Guru Hai. So we cannot reject that statement. So yes, certainly, like for example, if you go to Sri Sampradaya, in Sri Sampradaya, the Guru tradition comes through families. So there are these Acharya families. They are highly qualified, first class Brahmanas. So certainly they follow that tradition. But in Gaudiya Sampradaya, it was always through the process of initiation, Shiksha and Diksha. So Raghunath Das Goswami was Kayastha. Gopal Bhatta Goswami came from Sri Sampradaya. He was a first class Brahmin. Rupa and Sanatan Goswami were Gaur Saraswat Brahmins from Karnataka. But they had given up their position and lived like Muslims practically. So it was an odd mix actually. But all the six are accepted as acharyas. So it was on the basis of Tattva Siddhant. Of course, before the advent of Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta, before the three acharyas, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and Srila Prabhupada, the Siddhant was not so clear cut. There were not so many books available for the general masses. If you read Hari Bhakti Vilas clearly states that an acharya must be born in a Brahminical family. Hari Bhakti Vilas is, Sanatan Goswami. So how do we understand this? So the point is that in the absence.
Continue.
Yeah, please go on.
No, so I was just thinking that before, like, just rejecting his guru, wouldn't he ask his guru that why is he saying such a thing, and ask for some proof from the scriptures? And because if he thought that this person is fit to be his guru in the first place, he must be quite exalted. He must be having the knowledge of the scriptures. So he would definitely ask him for this. No? If he's saying something, there must be some proof for what he's saying.
So there's no record of him ever arguing with him or debating with him, but he put the subject matter there. But apparently, this Bipin Bihari Goswami liked this bhajan, Nitai Gaur Radhe Shyam. And this was actually sung by some, I think, Karta Bhajas or Baulas. I'm not very sure. So this was certainly not a sanctified song. And regarding the position of Raghunath Das Goswami, it's very complicated. It's not so simple.
Okay. So
but
means he said that Mahamantra should be replaced by this mantra. Nitai Gaur.
No, he started promoting this mantra also.
Okay.
And Bhaktivinoda Thakur was very particular that Mahamantra cannot be played around with. You cannot change the words of Mahamantra. Like Panchatattva and Radha Krishna Tattva, they don't mix together. Mahaprabhu and Krishna are never mentioned in the same verse together. They are never offered prayers together.
Oh.
Mahaprabhu is in the mood of a devotee. So he's worshipped as an acharya.
Okay.
Same, even we chant, sometimes we think of Krishna, sometimes we think of Mahaprabhu.
That's all right. You can even think of Srila Prabhupada. So that is also all right. But we cannot mix. We cannot say that Srila Prabhupada is Krishna, Krishna is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We don't go like this.
Meaning to say, we don't speak it like that, but we do understand that they are the one and the same. Like we sing in this bhajan that say Gora, say Krishna, say Jagannath. So we say that it's the same Lord Krishna and same Lord. So we understand it, but in the mantra we don't do any thing. We don't do any changes in the Maha mantra.
So worship has its own rules and regulations, and we have to follow those very strictly.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So this mantra, which even it is very part of many mutt in Puri, Jagannath Puri, I have seen, and in Orissa village they do Ashtaprahar Kirtan. So they do this mantra, Ashtaprahar Nam Sankirtan. Bhaja Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Japa Nitai Gaur Radhe Shyam.
Yes.
So they play this like we do Hare Krishna Kirtan in Mridang. So many tunes, Hare Krishna Kirtan. So this is going on in Odisha actually. A lot of mutt, like even if you must have seen in Haridas Thakur, Siddhavakul, or in Gambhira.
Veera.
So these
Yes.
places are they are doing this bhajan also. Continuously chanting kirtan is going on in this name.
Right. They do this. I've seen it.
So is it Prabhuji started
Okay.
from Bipin Bihari Goswami from him?
I didn't get you, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, this mantra started from Bipin Bihari Goswami ji.
It started before him.
So he started promoting this mantra, right? Okay.
Yeah, he started also.
Okay, that
So
was before
Bhaktivinoda
him,
Thakur.
but he started promoting. Okay.
Yes. I mean, this Apsampradaya started immediately after the departure of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Uh-huh.
So these are not new things. They are hundreds of years old, centuries old. See, that's why we have such a long way to go. That in front of us, even the Sahajiyas appear so much bona fide. Their lifestyle is much more simpler than ours. So bhakti is very difficult. Shurasya dhara nishita duratyaya. Duratyaya durgam pathas. So it's a very difficult path, you know. We have a long way to go.
And Prabhuji, how like this Sanatana Goswami's this scripture, what scripture you said, it is mentioned that a guru must be a born Brahmana. How could it be like in this?
Okay. Now this is a
Matlab,
very
born in
interesting
Brahmana,
question.
what does it mean, Prabhuji?
See, so actually, Srila Prabhupada also mentions this in the third canto of Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada also mentions that usually acharyas are born in very high families. Because you see, it indicates also the environment. It indicates the environment of the soul who is taking up that role. So if we are talking of a non-Brahminical acharya, an acharya not born in a Brahminical family, then he must be of the standard of Raghunath Das Goswami. Otherwise, his lower nature will immediately consume him. And it has happened in our movement. So many gurus have fallen because like the lower nature immediately took over. They ended up having illicit relations with their own disciples. They ended up even killing people. So, but when one is born in a very high family, the genetics are very pure. The sanskaras are very pure. So if you see, most of the acharyas in our lineage have been born in high families, either Brahmana families or Vaishnava families. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur was born in an aristocratic family, and he became a devotee. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was born in a pure devotee family. Srila Prabhupada was born in a pure devotee family. So if one is not born in a devotee family, then one must be very careful. So then if one is not born in a devotee family, then the acharya should have the standards of Raghunath Das Goswami. Complete renunciation, complete detachment, so that his past sanskaras do not affect him. So it's not that, anyone who chants Hare Krishna can become an acharya. No, it's not like this. Because Lakshana will, the sanskaras will show up. That's why Hari Bhakti Vilas insists on a Brahminical acharya. So these are complexities of bhakti. One has to be very careful. Because we are ignorant, we are not pure. We are completely ignorant. We have to apply all our intelligence to understand these subjects. If we take a wrong guru, we will be finished.
Probably, how does this Chaitanya Charitamrita, that slom, that verse says that Kiba Vipra, Kiba Nyasi, Sudra Kena Noy, Jai Krishna Tattvavitta Sei Guru Hai. Then what does the mean of this verse, Prabhuji?
Jai
When it is
Krishna
mentioned in
Tattvavedta.
Chaitanya Charitamrita.
So one must see. So that's the point, Prabhu. You can buy jewelry. You can go to some high-end jewelry store and buy some 23 karat gold. You can also buy something from the street. It's all jewelry. But the price, quality, everything is different. So you see, Prabhu, anyone can chant. No one is forbidden from chanting. In Mahaprabhu's times, even dogs chanted. No one is prohibited from chanting. But the position of an acharya is very, very rare. One must be extremely careful in the selection of one's guru. Guru must be Krishna Tattvaveta, and that should be visible from his lakshana. That means he must have 100% nishtha in his own guru, and he must follow his own spiritual master completely. So those are the qualifications we have to be very particular about. So Jai Krishna Tattvaveta must be a pure devotee, like Prabhupada says. The guru must have seen Krishna.
Prabhuji, I'm sorry. Again, just wanted to highlight this part. Like Vipin Biswari, Bihari Goswami, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur, that point you have mentioned, that he from this 2 point, one is that you said this this mantra, Bhaja Hare Krishna Hare Ram. Other one is about Raghunath Das Goswami accepting him as a Acharya because he was born in a Kayast family. So this verse says that if somebody is a Shudra, cannot know. If somebody been born in a Shudra family, if he is Krishna Tattvavita, then he can become a guru. So this verse and that point, it contradict each other, Prabhuji, na?
No. They don't actually. On the face of it, it appears they are contradicting, but they are actually supporting each other. So Brahma Janat iti Brahmana. So one who is born in a Brahminical family means he's already almost on the level of liberation. So he's pure. No doubts about that. So such a person, if he becomes a devotee, he'll be very pure devotee because his sanskaras are so pure. The other one is a Shudra who's going to be an Acharya. So like Raghunath Das Goswami was a Kayastha. Kayasthas are in between Shudra and Vaishya. They are cross of Shudra Vaishya. So what is the position then? So Raghunath Das Goswami was accepted by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but Hiranya and Govardhan Majumdar were rejected by Mahaprabhu. He says, Raghunath, your father and uncle are worms in stool. So certainly, though he accepted their devotion, he did not accept them as pure devotees. But at the same time, Raghunath Das Goswami himself, he's Goswami. So because he has purified himself completely of those sanskaras. So that's Krishna Tattvaveta. He was not even eating. So if one can reach that level of purification, then one can even be a Chandal. One can even be a Chandal and still become a guru. But that
And
should be the
Prabhuji,
level of
Haridas Thakur
renunciation.
also.
Yeah, he's also Muslim, not even Hindu. He's Muslim.
Haridas Thakur also, Prabhuji. Yeah.
So that's the standard, Prabhu. They
So
must
from
be
this we can
completely pure.
understand the level of Bhaktivinoda Thakur's.
Yes.
Prabhuji, from this we can understand the level of Bhaktivinoda Thakur's understanding and to the firm conviction on these shastras.
Correct.
Yes, Prabhuji, got it.
See, Prabhu, it's a question of your life. So if you want to go by your sentiment, go ahead. But if my life was in danger, I would rather trust my intelligence. I would stretch my intelligence to the limit to save my life. Prabhupada says, in the summertime, when one is feeling very hot, the snakes are still cold. But that doesn't mean that one will wrap a snake around his neck. Or you're living in Odisha, for example, that ocean is so pretty there, this Bay of Bengal. But will anyone dare to swim in that? It looks so beautiful, crystal blue waters, but they are raging. If you go inside them, gone. They'll smash you. So one has to be very careful. Intelligence, not sentiment. Okay. We take one last verse. Soma Pitham tuyat tasya.
Somapitham tuyastasya
Tira asit kapinjala.
Sira Asit Kapinjal.
Kalavinkah surapitham.
Kalavenkam Suraveetam
Surapeetam.
Annadam Yatsat Tittiri.
Annadam
Annadam
Yatsatittiri.
Someone like to read this?
May I read?
Where-
I read Prabhuji. Oh, yeah, Mataji, continue.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada Ji Jai. Translation. Thereafter, the head meant for drinking somrasa was transformed into a kapinjala, francolin pastridge. Similarly, the head meant for drinking wine was transformed into kalavenka, sparrow, and the head meant for eating food became a titri, common partridge. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Brahma Hatyam Anjalina
Hatyam Anjalina.
Jagraha Yad Apishwara.
Jagraha
Yad Apishwara.
Apishwara.
Samvatsarante Tadakham
Samvatsarante
Bhutanam Sa Vishuddhaye.
Bhutanam Vishuddhaye.
Bhumyambu Druma Yoshidbhyas.
Bhumyam Drumayoshibhyas.
Chaturdha Vyabhajadhari.
Chaturdha Vajadhari.
Yeah, so who would like to? Pranav Prabhu?
Sure.
Yeah.
Although Indra was so powerful that he could neutralize the sinful reactions for killing a Brahmana, he repentantly accepted the burden of these reactions with folded hands. He suffered for 1 year, and then, to purify himself, he distributed the reactions for his sinful killing among the earth, water, trees, and women. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, Archana Mataji, you had some question or something?
No, sorry, Prabhuji, by mistake.
Okay. Okay, so so yeah, we can see that Indra, being a demigod, he accepted his folly and he took the reactions, though he could have counteracted them, but he accepted those. So, and that's a proper way, because one cannot escape karma. So we continue tomorrow with this narration of what happens when these sinful reactions are distributed. Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Dhanva Pranam.
Srila
Hare
Prabhupada ki
Krishna,
jai.
Dhanavad Pranam. Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.